GM Adrian, happy Black Monday.
Wow. Wow. I am so happy to be back.
I'm glad you're back too, because I need somebody to laugh with, through the tears today. So love your background.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah. So
there are no words.
There are no words, but we're going to attempt to find some words. So as we attempt to find some words, we'll be back with you in just 40 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Monday, April 7th, and you are here with Nanish Prof and Adrian for 29 minutes-ish of Farcaster news. I'm just gonna tweet this real fast. Already casted.
Maybe you could change your background.
I don't think I can. I just don't think I can because it's way too appropriate. Yeah, I know. It's, so that's, basically where we're going to start today.
Do you know where my background is from? Did you see it?
I believe it's from Robin.
It is from Robin.
Oh, I saw it. Oh, I saw it. I have it pulled. You'll see it in just a moment. Yeah.
Okay, amazing.
Here we go. Let's dive in. We're going to start with 29 seconds of Farcaster news from Brad Q. What did you miss this weekend? The weekend started with a new FC audio chat from JC4P that everyone was testing, including Bert. Mamups, I was there and heard a weenie whine. We also got the Myanmar blockchain relief app thanks to Horsefacts and Blockheim, and we'll show you both of those in just a bit. Minimize mini apps is now a thing, super helpful, which is useful for listening to a podcast or a chat while scrolling your feed. It's awesome, loving it. Well, I'm loving it. This is our theme today. Also, a new trending follow notification, where if someone gets a lot of followers, a notification goes out, particularly useful for new and growing accounts. Shout out Woj.eth. Our own JRS, assistant coach for the Florida Gators, is in the Final Four, actually in the championship, and playing for the championship tonight, and continues to take us a BTS in San Antonio. Speaking of the Final Four, March Madness has turned into Bracky Madness, revealing many of our psychotic tendencies in trading. Shout out TLDR for elevating an already stressful experience. Nanish Prof and Adrian will get you fully caught up, and here we are. So we're going to be talking about all these things in a little more detail. I spent some time with Bracky over the weekend. We chatted, Bracky and I was convinced that I needed to sell my Houston shares because, if you watched the game at all, I was like, I think I need to get out of this by like halftime, and then
how'd that work out?
It didn't. Pretty much worked out as well as me holding ETH. That's how well it worked out. Here we are. Okay, let's move on. So we got to start here because I don't think we can start anywhere else. But don't worry, memes are coming, so it's okay. We're just going to set the stage for those future historians who might be listening to this. Today's going to be one of the worst market days maybe ever. How do we know? Well, because the markets everywhere else are already just awful. This is from Unusual Whales, and the reason I pulled this one also is because you should be following Unusual Whales, who's now on Farcaster. Here are all the markets that hit circuit breakers today so far. China, Taiwan, Japan, Russell Futures, Australia, Singapore, pretty much any markets that were open at that point. Great. Fantastic. A lot of red. So yeah. So there's that. Any comments?
And the VIX. The VIX is
The
a
VIX.
volatility index.
Yes.
So
good point. Yes.
that and the
That's
VIX
way
is
up.
up
The VIX is
14.6%.
up. The VIX is up. And then this was the total cryptocurrency market cap, down 200 billion in the past 24 hours. That was yesterday. It's down more now. So that's good. Not good. This from Gigamash, unbothered, moisturized, happy in my lane, focused and flourishing. In a sea of red. Now we just get into lots of, this is my background today. This was happier times, actually. This was Ethan 16. This was happier times many hours ago. Yeah. Wait, you said we'll all become rich in Q2? Yeah, that didn't quite work out. I will say this, though, and I did cast this. He did say he wanted to get rid of the capital gains tax. He just didn't say how.
We are rich. We are rich in friendships.
Okay.
Rich in memes.
To pay for the eggs. It's just not going to pay for the eggs. This is funny from Brian Johnson. This was over on Twitter. Always improving my protocol. He of the famous red light therapy. So there you go. Your red light therapy can now just come from your computer screen, depending on what chart you're looking at. So there's that. Save some money on a red light mask. Just use the charts. And then this is your background from Robin, sharing my Google Meet background for the week. Feel free to use. So she took the note. Adrian took the note.
Yes, it's a fantastic background.
It's making me hungry. That's funny. Yeah, making you hungry. We're loving it. Also in the McDonald's theme, we have this from Miguel Garest, which is really cute. Off to work. Here we go. I did get my buy for ETH. Yes, you certainly did. Yeah. Craziness. It's been crazy. This from Yasik. Back to eating ramen, boys. Never sold my vesting degen. Neither did one confirmation. We ride or die, red or green. We don't stop. See you tomorrow. GN. So there you go.
McDonald's hat on that chart. A lot of McDonald's theme.
A lot of McDonald's. It's a big McDonald's theme. We're loving it. I'm telling you. Markets are looking dark and cloudy with a chance of drive-by. Black Monday limit down, ? And that was the response. So a lot of people trying to stay positive in this crazy sea of red, because what else can you do? I did love this. 1,500 ETH. How's everyone loving this pro-crypto president? Again, we're loving it. Clearly, McDonald's is the theme today. This is the worst day of my life, the worst day of your life so far. I mean, Robrek, that was yesterday. Just wait.
That was the weekend.
Wait. That was the weekend.
The markets weren't even open.
I know, right? Well, crypto markets were. This is from Murtaza. Buy when there's blood on the streets. So you're buying now, right? And it's Warren Buffett in the Star Wars meme of, right? No, he's buying nothing. Smartest, I mean, seriously, like he could not look more brilliant at this moment. Like for real. When he was holding cash and everyone was sort of laughing at the fact that he was just holding cash. Look who's laughing now. And this is funny. This is not a real quote from Warren Buffett. Let's just be clear. This is a meme. Freak the fuck out and panic sell everything right now. It's over. Warren Buffett. He didn't really say that. He's fine. He's chilling. He's sitting on a pile of cash, just chilling. He's the only one. I think there was a chart with all the billionaires and how much they were down, and he was the only one in green. Just doing nothing. Like, just do nothing. You'll be fine.
Yeah, drinking his Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, yeah. You were all just perverts who are secretly horny for the apocalypse. That was also funny. Might be true. Then this from Burberry. Thank fuck we're going to be okay. Replying to Justin, Jim Cramer predicts another 20% stock market crash from current levels. Okay, this is usually the meaning of inverse Cramer. Like it will do the opposite of what he says. I think even this time he might be right. This time he's probably right. And then this from Jesse Pollock to put us back on track. It's never as good as it seems. It's never as bad as it seems. Good Sunday to build something, go outside, touch grass, and lock in for the week ahead. Okay, so I figured we'd start with the just, elephant in the big red elephant in the room. Because how can you not? It's literally everywhere. I have to say per usual, the vibes on Twitter versus the vibes on Farcaster.
Different. Very different.
But I mean, acknowledging that like it's a shit show, but not freaking out about the shit show.
It was like maybe the first time we're getting even price talk.
Yeah.
We very rarely even talk about price like on Farcaster. Yeah. So, but it wasn't quite as, it was like memes, panic.
Yeah, it was more memes. It was less panic. It's real messy over on Twitter, like real dark. Because you also have, you've got also the politics side of it more so, and you've got the other financial markets. There's been some interesting combos over there. So
it is wild. I picked a weird week to go offline.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Not a bad week to go offline, but
I was quite disconnected from reality last week.
Yeah. This was a little crazy. It's been a little crazy. It was interesting. Oh, hey, come on. Hi, Shello, our mermaid friend. It's been interesting watching the markets go down and just going, there's literally nothing you can do. Like, there's nothing. Like, not that there isn't life is pretty much like that all the time, but more so right now, just knowing like there's nothing. There's not any levers to even pull at this moment. I think it's
really good for just you and I personally, like when you're like middle age, it's like you've been through the crazy ups, downs. Like it's really not the first market crash we've ever seen. And you're not at the like end of like oh my God, I need cash right now.
Yeah.
So we can ride it out.
I was glad.
You're like, no, no, we
can't. Not really, but yes. Exactly. I made some smart moves. A month ago, and maybe smart, but I mean, like not even a month ago, like 2 weeks ago, I started moving some things around and making sure I had more USDC and actual cash on hand. But probably not enough is what I'm, now thinking. Cause you just think like when you're holding ETH and you're looking, you're selling for a loss, it's really hard to do that. So I was having I was like, do I really want to sell more? I really don't, not at this price. And I probably should have. So that's the one thing I probably should have done. But yeah, you can buy yes to crypto. That's that was the other thing. And I forgot to grab that, the whole buy the dip memes. Like with what? Like we've been buying all the dips,
with your Farcaster rewards, of course, with your Warpcast rewards.
There you go. We got to work harder now. I took a little time off too. I was a little more chill. So I'm not as high up on the ranking.
I was so low on the leaderboard until this weekend. I kind of dipped back in and I feel like I got to crank it up today. It's tough out there. I got to get in there.
Tough out there. You got to get something. Get something. I'm not gonna get anywhere near the 100, but I think I'm firmly in the 25. Hopefully,
I was hanging out in like the 1500s last week rankings. It was a weird place to be. I didn't like it.
No, that's way too up there. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy town. All right, there are some other things going on believe it or not. There is some positive news. But speaking of your trip, hold on, I got to pull this up. This was cool, but very pretty. Your ski photos, very nice. Never entered the 100. Really?
Yeah,
You gotta
just
work harder.
keep
I'm just kidding.
yeah,
Keep
cast,
casting.
keep
Cast
casting.
more. Keep casting. Just kidding. I didn't mean to say work harder. Just joking. This looks beautiful, by the way. Oops, I got to give you a bigger screen on this one. It's so pretty. So that was, and then this was like when it was snowing. So
Like
amazing.
2 hours later. It was
Crazy.
crazy. It was like you'd wake up and it'd be sunny and then it'd be a snowstorm. It was April.
Beautiful.
I know people are here to talk about Farcaster, but you're all going to shut up and listen to me talk about my favorite activity, which is skiing. I was panicking because 2 weeks ago, I'm looking at the weather and it was like 60 degrees in Colorado. And everybody was saying the mountain was like, just the snow was completely melted, mush. And I was very upset. And it snowed 22 inches while we were there. It was like full on winter. The mountain was back. The best time. And like the mountain's
that
empty.
Worked out
it's spring
perfect.
skiing. I was with my like college friends, no kids, just an adult trip. It was fantastic. It was a very nice mix of like red and blue people, meaning we have different politics. Oh, I got them all on Farcaster.
We'll see
no one casted.
No, of course not.
2 of them actually got on last year at my ski trip, and they came back. I reactivated the 2 of them. They have no idea what to do. They don't understand it. And I'm like, I guess this is why I can't bring people on. I'm the worst onboarder.
Well, that was a question that Dan asked, was what's preventing you from inviting more people to Farcaster? I will send 10 USDC to the top 3 replies based on thoughtful answer and engagement, which I didn't see who we ended up picking on that part. But this is your response to that was, didn't have a good answer to this question, so decided to invite 2 new friends and reactivate 2 others. Please give a hello to my friends Elamap, Melfell, JD Berg, and Trub.
I actually got, you know what? We had a little
like
issue with his username, and that's not it.
Oh.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, go follow these people except for which one? The last one?
He's Starman.
Starman.
Trub is his name. His display name.
So it's Starman. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So go give them a follow.
Or don't, because they are not going to cast.
They probably aren't going to cast. Oh, that's funny. But if they do, you should follow them.
They will someday.
Actually, you know who you should follow if you're not following them already?
Yeah.
JRS. Like, you guys all need to go follow JRS because he's like casting everything about what's happening with the Final Four. He's been sharing a lot of behind the scenes. He is one of the assistant coaches. I think he's the analytics coach, if I got that right, for Florida, University of Florida. So that's been very cool to see. Here was another
Guess
couple
how many
pictures.
Followers? Don't look.
I know.
Look. Guess how many followers? All right.
Right
people,
now?
Then chat, don't look. Wait, what do you think the number of followers he has? You've got a NCAA coach on Farcaster.
He was at around 200 before the weekend, before we all started pumping him. I'm going to guess he's at maybe like, he's probably under 400.
Yeah.
350?
Under 400. 376.
Yeah. Criminally underfollowed. Like, what are you people doing? Go follow him right now because it's really cool to see. I think this is him. That's my guess. So very cool to see all this happening. Title bound. So they're playing tonight for the championship. And yeah, so just go give them a follow. Like, it's craziness. So very cool. And this is from TLDR, who says the same. Attention, if you're not following this Florida team and their coach, JRS, who is basically live streaming it on Farcaster, then you're really missing out on something wholesome and special. Get on board. So very fun. So that was, and it was fun to be chatting with Bracky and getting takes on the games and everything. So that was really fun over the weekend for those of us who were hanging around. Do you still have any like anything? No, you're out. You're gone. You're done. Okay. I had Florida and Houston this whole time, and Wisconsin just for your daughter. And then I sold my Houston right before, like right during the Duke game. But I'm still holding all my Florida. So there you go. I'm all in for Florida. Speaking of something cool, this is from Say Angel. This is Livecaster. And this is from this is in regards to NCAA, but it can be used for many things. But NCAA and Bracky Enjoyers, the next Livecaster event is tomorrow's NCAA championship game, real-time chat with other casters watching the game. All chat messages are casts, which means you can @Bracky to panic sell when you need to. Add the mini app to participate. So this is pretty cool. So while you're watching something, you can be chatting with everybody in this app. So very cool. This to me is also, and I said this again when Dan was talking about channels, I think this is also the cool thing about channels when you have an ephemeral kind of event that, you know, it may not be a channel that's pumping all the time, but during those particular moments, it can be really fun. And it'll help you find other people who are watching the same thing. But this will be cool. So go check that out if you're going to be watching tonight. Moving on. This is from Horsefax commenting on N Bragg. Huge. If your Muni app uses its own embedded wallet, make it as easy as possible to fund. And this was in regards to the Stoke Fire one. You can now easily deposit ETH from your Warpcast wallet to your embedded Stoke Fire wallet, all within the Warpcast app, which is very cool. Yeah, definitely making it easier to fund these embedded wallets is important because trying to figure it out, I've had to do that a few times on some of these where it's like, okay, what is the wallet address? Where do I send it? Oh. So make it as easy as possible for people to give you money. It's the bottom line. Make it easy here, people. A couple other things. Developer rewards changes.
Where does the money come from?
Where does the money? We don't know anymore. I don't know. Warren Buffett. I don't know where the money's coming from anymore. Well, if you're a developer, you might be getting developer rewards. That could be where the money's coming from. Developer rewards changes. Pool increased to $3,000 a weekly, previously $2,000. Recipients increased to 50, previously 25. Tweaks to algo to support apps doing on-chain actions, more below. Congrats to all the winners this week. It's been a very exciting seeing all the cool mini apps shipping. How does the reward algo work? And this is in regards to developers, so those who are creating mini apps, those who are creating clients, etc. How does the reward algo work? We give each mini app a score based on number of unique users opening, number of unique users transacting, number of transactions, aggregate dollar value of transactions new. The total pool, 3,000, is divided between the top 50 proportionally to this score. The aggregate dollar value was added to give a boost to apps that had larger value transactions but were not as frequently used. That's interesting. We wanted to make sure that all kinds of apps are being rewarded for building on Farcaster. Morpho is a good example of an app that would score higher in this new system. That's a great point. So Morpho is where you can earn rewards for holding your Ether USDC. I think it's both. And earn yield on those right within the app. So that's a great point. So very cool to see these new reward processes and getting more people rewarded for building. Love to see that. This from Gabriel Oeso. We've improved cache management for mini app embeds, support cache control headers, refresh cache from cast composer, refresh a cast embeds. More details on this image. So mini app embeds cache improvements. You can see how it refreshes a cast embed, etc. So if you're developing on something, this might be helpful to check this out. What else? This is interesting. I noticed this before anybody mentioned it, and I was like, what is going on? It's like, why is this happening? I'm getting these notifications. New on Warpcast, trending follow recommendations. The notification aims to solve two problems. New people should be able to build a quality audience faster, Existing users should be able to jump on new metas without spending hours on the app. We are very thoughtful on how we send it. Only triggers once many people you follow a new person in a short time span. As always, you can turn it off in the notifications and shoot me any feedback. So, what do you think of this, by the way? Have you noticed it?
I've got lots of thoughts. Thank you for asking. So existing users never had a problem jumping on to new meta. They would just come to GM Farcaster,
True story.
obviously. I don't know
Obviously.
why Woj doesn't know that. My first feeling was when I first saw one of these notifications, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, and it was one of these, like Dan and so-and-so people followed who it was probably, what's it, AZ Finn. I was like, oh, I'll check this, It is good because I want to find new people. It's cool. But I did notice a lot of new notifications. So when I'm, let's say, offline touching snow and I come back and I was like, oh, I have a lot of new notifications. Then I check my notifications tab and I was like, but they're not people replying to me. It was a little notification slop. So I'm going to turn some of them off. But,
okay.
I like to keep my notifications tab very tight. But I think it's great.
Whereas I'm like, I want them all. I want all the notifications.
Because
I'm looking right now. Like, I didn't feel like I got a lot of them. I noticed a couple before I saw this, but I didn't feel like it was major overkill.
And it's not all Warpcast. I'm getting a lot of like frame notifications.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which I've opted into. So I understand.
And you can opt out of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm getting a lot of frame notifications. Maybe that's what it was that was feeling more.
I noticed one that I'm getting, and I'm trying to figure out how we can trigger it about when, I forget which one it was, but when there's a newsletter that's publishing, and when it publishes, it's now popping up into my priority notifications. And I was like, how is that happening?
From Paragraph.
How do I trigger that? Yes, from Paragraph. Yeah.
I think if you're subscribed, I think as long as you're subscribed to a newsletter, when
it'll
it gets
pop up in your notifications.
Yeah, I think it maps. Okay. It knows your Farcaster. If Paragraph knows your Farcaster ID and you're subscribed, it pops up.
Oh, maybe that's it. Okay. So maybe it is popping up for others then when we publish ours. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But I think you probably have to follow. Maybe you have to follow Paragraph. Maybe that, or add the.
I don't know. It's magic. I have to figure that out. I need to better understand that, but also means I'm probably not following our own Paragraph, and that's why I'm not saying it. Because I write it, so I'm not actually subscribed. All right, moving on.
By the way, I'm looking at the notifications, like about which ones you can toggle on or off.
Yes.
And I can't turn any of them off because I do have FOMO. I'm just going to complain.
Oh, that's funny.
Too many.
So you can.
I was like, oh, which one should I turn off? And I was like,
you can. You just don't
want to know. Yeah.
Yeah, all mine are on. I'm scrolling through. I'm like, yeah, all of mine are on. Every single one.
When I'm super active on Farcaster, which is most weeks, I don't mind it because I'm in Farcaster. So I'm in Warpcast so much. So you're seeing them. It was more just like in the past week when I was on vacation mode.
And you got like a bunch at once. Yeah.
Yes, I got so excited. And then I was like, no one is talking to me. These are not replies. It's just things that
you haven't been saying anything. So who would talk to you?
I know.
No one's going to talk to you. All right, moving on. This from DWR. Looks like minimized mini apps support picture-in-picture after all. Check it out in the pods frame. So this was exciting because I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And so, yes, you can watch or listen to GM Farcaster while scrolling the timeline or while minting the episode. So this is very cool. You can just minimize it.
So cool.
Very cool. Love it. Yeah, this is exciting. And then you can collect it right there. And then you can just keep on scrolling while you listen to us. Isn't that exciting? I know this is what you've all been waiting for in your lives. Not those who are right in the live stream because they show up every day. So they don't have to look back. What were you gonna say?
Well, I assume at some point we'll have picture-in-picture minimize live stream from the app.
Probably. Well, probably. I think you could. I wonder if you can do it on stream now, because I know you can do it for the videos, but I'm not sure for the live stream. But that would be, we'd have to check that out. What I really want is for the YouTube live stream to be minimized.
Yeah.
Which you probably can do. I bet you can do it with, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you can do it. I bet you can do it because if you can do it, if you can put live into paragraph and you can minimize that, then yeah, you probably can do it. That would be my guess.
Okay.
But,
well, I've got a hackathon. I've got a Builder Day hackathon coming up soon. So maybe we'll play. And yes to crypto. If you play with it, let us know how it works.
Yeah. It did work pretty good. I was testing it out and I was like, this is impressive. Yeah, the live one is the only thing that we have to kind of figure out.
I love seeing all these new things getting built. And my assumption is they're not quite as polished as to what you expect because it's the first time you're building something new. Yep. But it's so cool to see, everything coming out because it's only going to get better. And eventually it's like what everybody wants is like the nice little purple, and maybe not purple, but the halo around that says so-and-so is watching or in a stream. And that's what we really need.
That's what we really want. We need
Ted.
many things. Ted, get it done. But we're getting close. So did you see this? This is so this is exciting. This is I'm live on FC audio chat. Join me. There's a million bugs, but the basics work. This is from JC4P. This is essentially Twitter Spaces in a frame that you can minimize. So that's how these things go together. So you can be in here. Oops, I don't want to connect, but it will show you if anything is live. You can create a room. And then you can minimize the frame so you can be listening while you're doing other things. So that's exciting. So go check that out.
Did you join any chats yesterday?
I did not. Okay. I did not. But I did want to. Every time I checked when I was available, there really wasn't anything happening. But I was thinking probably spin up a couple this week, maybe on Tuesday and Thursday, maybe at noon or something like that. So
yeah.
And let's try and maybe do that just for shits and giggles and test it out. But yeah, this would be a fun new little tool. We've had some audio chats before. For those who don't remember, we had Abura, and then we had, I think Farhouse is still in existence. Is that a separate app or is it I can't remember if it's a mini app or a separate app. Farhouse, I'm not sure.
It's a web app. I don't know.
No. I think it might be a web app.
There's been a few versions of audio chats.
Yeah. And then there was Tavern, which still exists, but it's very buggy and hasn't been maintained due to Brennan isn't available to keep it going right now. So, but this is exciting. If he does bring that back, it will work really well in this type of frame environment. So, or mini app environment, I should say, but very cool to see. Love it. So thank you, JC4P. It's a separate app. Okay. JC4P is just like a machine. Such a machine. It's crazy.
A machine. And there's a Rorschach test that it's like when you see him with his prolific frame creation, does that inspire you to create more frames yourself? Or does it make you feel like a complete loser and you'll just give up and never make one because how could you even compete? I'm in the second camp.
I was going to say, where are you at?
I mean, no, it's so inspiring, of course.
It's super inspiring.
He does everything open source.
From my perspective, I know I'm not going to be able to ever create at that level. So I'm totally fine with my lack of those skills. So I think that's the difference of like, if you have those skills or close to them and you're like, why aren't my skills as good as this? Then you're going to feel insecure or whatever. Yeah, I got none of that because I have no delusions that I could ever do anything like that.
He does everything is open source.
I know, it's phenomenal.
I don't even know what his AI and infrastructure bills are every month. So go tip him.
He made a comment about that. That's a great point. My face when I fucking
especially on the audio one. He's like, I'll keep it up until I run out of money.
Yeah, but I could see that being something that Merkel might, I don't know, purchase, whatever, like say, hey, we'll take it over. I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I forgot to pull this, but Ted posted a cast about how she hasn't seen Dan this giddy since Giblify. So he was very happy about the audio chat. So I could see this being one of those things that like they acquire, but we'll see. It would make sense because then they, it'll get used. It will.
Oh my God. Yeah. I saw, and I was traveling yesterday, so I couldn't jump in, but I saw the excitement of how many people were jumping into audio chats, using it, casting about it, talking about it. And it's like, it is something people have wanted and asked for.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've seen like all the other iterations of audio chats. So built in a frame that can be minimized seems pretty awesome.
Seems
also, there's a million bugs, so don't be patient.
Be patient.
Using it.
Be patient, but test it out. We should try and test it out maybe later today.
I bet there's not a million bugs. I bet he's just
probably isn't. He's just saying that. He's
lowering
expectations. Lowering expectations. This from Emma STs. Side events are up for farcon.nyc. By the way, if you are a hyper sub holder of ours, of GM Farcaster, either Wow or Mole, either one, we're going to have 2 events that you're going to see in the next couple days pop up, and you'll have first crack at attending. One will be a karaoke happy hour on Wednesday before everything gets going, and the other, more info to come. So just letting you know, you will need an active hyper sub for those events. But these are some other side events coming up for Farcon. Farcon Founder Speaker Series with USV and Nanar. That sounds amazing. Farcaster Brunch with Ted and DWR. I had asked Ted about that. I'm like, do you want existing people, or did you want like, is this more for like trying to get more people over? I wasn't quite sure. Mini app maxing with Albiverse, MBD, Privy, Builder's Garden. Farcon Open with Farcon NYC and Zerion. I'll more about that in a second. House of Nouns with Let's Go. Daniel Allen at Elsewhere with Koopa Troopa. I don't even know what that says. WATCWIF with Zinger. And Lil Farcon Scavenger Hunt with Grandma Joe. That is with Lil Nouns, so that's going to be really fun. Note we're using approximate addresses for most side events to visualize relative proximity to other locations. Be sure to RSVP to side events directly to get exact address. So this is exciting. I'm already starting to get a little overwhelmed though, because it's a lot. There's also, I don't see it on here, but Humpty is doing something on Thursday, essentially Creators Day. That's going to be amazing as well. And there's more coming. So buckle up. But it's exciting, very exciting. And this is from Dylan regarding the Farcon Open. Pumped to announce the Farcon Open, a paddle tournament. This is like, they keep using the word paddle rather than, okay, anyway.
Padel?
Tournament, Padel? Is it Padel? Padel House? Okay, Padel. Tournament co-hosted by Farcon and Zerion.eth. We'd love for you to join us in the afternoon on 5/3, so that's Saturday, regardless of your skill level, but bonus points if you want to play with your company or challenge a friend. Sign up below. So Padel, which I assume is similar to pickleball. I don't know.
It is. I think it's in a cage, and you can play off screens maybe. So like there's something called paddle tennis, which is very popular where I live, which is not padel, and it's not pickle, and it's not squash, and it's not racquetball, and it's not tennis. There are so many different racket sports that you play with different, like slightly different rackets, slightly different rules. I know paddle tennis where we are is played outdoors in the winter. On a and you play off the screens, like there's fencing around.
Okay.
Padel,
and you think it's similar to that? But indoor?
I think it's. I actually don't know, but Padel I think was popularized in South America. I think maybe.
Okay.
Argentina maybe. I can't remember. I don't know the history, but I know It is a different sport, but it's a racket sport. I think you play off screens. I don't.
Okay.
And it's called padel. That's what I can tell you.
Okay. So padel on Saturday. Go check that out if you want to play. I will not be playing that.
I believe there is
I'll
places for
watch.
spectators.
I said I'll probably watch. Okay, this says voting closes in 22 hours, which this was 18 hours ago. So I think you have 4 hours left. Hopefully my math is right. So this is voting on the community talks for the afternoon of the summit. Go check this out. Have you voted yet? She's going to vote right now. I can tell.
No, I was chatting with Kismet, who confirmed my Argentina knowledge.
Okay, fantastic.
I don't know if it started there. Okay. I voted yesterday on the airplane.
Okay, good.
I read how many entries? 30 some?
30 something.
Some talks.
Yep.
How do you choose? Like, it's
so hard.
At some point, I'm not used to this. I live in a world of abundance where I don't ever have to choose anything. And now you're making me choose 6 talks out. It was very difficult because I want to, like, they all.
There were 35. Yeah, it was a lot. So, choosing 6 from 35 was not easy, and they were all really good. So I decided I wasn't going to share who I voted for because I don't want anybody to feel bad if I didn't vote for your thing. I just don't, because they were all so good. But I did share my criteria, and my criteria had to be Farcaster specific. I saw some that were very generic, and I was like, like I could see that at any conference. Like, I don't want to see that at Farcon. Person had to be active on Farcaster. Like, come on. There was a couple of people, and I was like, you're never here. No. And then I kind of did like a mix of things. Like, some things were about like building, and then other things were more fun. And I'm going to be honest, I did vote for Ivies. I thought that was cool. So like things like that, like to, just a mix. I wanted a mix of things. So
you can tell you're in DAOs.
Yes, clearly.
One, because you're used to all of your votes being public. So you have to justify and tell people
vote
why.
With reason.
Yeah. Vote with reason. Because people who are not in DAOs will happily just fill out a form and not feel like they have to
not even think twice about it.
So I can tell you're in a DAO. But also, it's so good to be able to share I don't have to tell you who I voted for, but I can give you the principles or reasons that went into my decision.
Yeah.
I did something similar.
I don't necessarily want to influence anyone else's vote either. Like, everyone's going to want different things, and I don't care. Like, they're all I'd be happy with any of these. I'll be flat out honest. Like,
totally. There's some really good ones.
There was like maybe 2 that I was like, come on. But like easily like 30 something of these is fantastic. So why do I care? I don't want to influence anybody else's stuff. But,
I did something similar of like active on Farcaster, something I want to hear, something that's somewhat unique. I also had a little bit of like just what do I want to hear?
Yeah.
It's my vote.
What it might.
And and then just thinking of like, if you're in a room, right? Because these are going to be back-to-back lightning talks, quick. They like, granted,
what's
I know
a good
I'm
flow?
only voting.
Yeah.
But like what's a good mix and kind of variety of talks, and what type of topics like would be good in a room, like capturing inside of a room. So like I voted for the chic, and
I did vote for that too. So like, I'm not going to tell you what I voted for, except for the things I'm going to tell you that I voted for.
These are people very integrated in the Farcaster. Like, they're so Farcaster OGs, I'll say, even if they're not officially OG token holders like I am, but like I am. But that would be really great. Like, it's whatever. That would be such a cool thing to happen in a live event.
Especially mixed in between other types of more standard talks too. Yeah. I did something similar.
All the talks will be professionally recorded.
Not just by us.
So professionally recorded.
By
people who have AV skills, and will be on our YouTube channel.
Yep. So you will be able to see everything eventually. We'll get it out as quickly as possible, but it depends on, we'll have some clips, but then we'll have like the fully professional stuff. Will be out not too long after the event is over. So if you're not there even, you'll get to see it. All right, a few more things and then we're going to call it. This was very cool to see as well. Very similar to what we were just talking about. I meant to put this closer to the minimizing thing. You can now listen to music on Coop Records, a mini app. This is a very cool mini app. It allows you to collect and listen to the music. If this wants to open for me right now, maybe not. Okay, maybe it's only mobile. Weird. But it was very cool. You can collect the individual artists as well as listen to the music. You can do the minimization so you can listen while you are scrolling and doing other things. So very cool. This was also a great frame to see. This is from Horsefacts. We created a mini app to support humanitarian aid to victims of the Myanmar earthquake. Donate 1,000 plus tokens on any chain. The relief fund receives base USDC. Thanks to ZeroStark.eth for sharing this cause and for Demo for making cross-chain donations easy. Add the app for future notifications. This is very cool. So you could, change over whatever, your DGen, et cetera, to do this kind of donation. So it could be coming from something that you've been given. So pretty cool. Great to see. And I did do a donation for that, but very cool. You could see the, moving forward, like what can be done with this, and love seeing this. So very cool. This from JC4P, because he didn't do enough last week. So it's 4 days ago, as opposed to, when was the other one?
2 days ago.
Yes. 2 days ago? I don't even know. Like, when was that one? I can't even find it. Here it is. So that was 2 days ago. This was 4 days ago. Yeah, he's been a little busy. NFT Factory. So hi. If you don't want to host your own server and deploy your own Solidity, I made a mini app that lets you make NFT collections. Just because, he was bored one day. So you can just click, you can upload an image, put in your information, set a price. There is a $10 fee to deploy it. Whoops, I think you can see it at the bottom there. And very cool, very simple, straightforward, love it. And of course the code is open. There you go. There's all the code if you want to do anything with it yourself. And then this from him. 2 months, 3 days ago, 2 months into making on-chain apps, and I'm realizing making a token launcher is way more lucrative than an actual killer app. And Horsefacts said, delete this. Just, you know what? Here's the good news. Have you seen the markets? Probably not true for much longer. So it's okay. But speaking of token launchers, Banker is live on Wharfcast DMs for Banker Club members. Swap, trade, send, get information, and place limit orders privately without leaving the app. You can join Banker Club from the private terminal at banker.bot, and that's BANKR.BOT. This also allows you to use it on Twitter as well. So very cool, though. You can now have those, this would be cool to see with like Bracky if you didn't want people to see all of your trades publicly. That might suck. You can do it privately at least. So very cool. Cool to see. And this was from Greg. Hundreds of devs building on Ethereum at 2 a.m. on a Saturday night in Taipei, completely not paying attention to the price of ETH whatsoever. And good for you all. So very cool to see. This was ETH Global. Love to see that. Couple more quick things. This from Martin, which was a little sad. Closing a chapter for Aether. So this is Ethernet. And it goes on to say that he's basically shutting down Ethernet. It was a good experiment, but there's a lot of cost involved in these sorts of things. So he does say at the end, if anyone is looking to take over Aether's higher base funds, as well as tech and brand, I would be happy to hand them over to a trusted higher community member. So if you are interested and appreciate Ethernet, go reach out to Martin. So has it only been since October?
Yes, and I didn't even see, I missed this cast over the weekend.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there is maintenance.
I'm feeling kind of sad.
I am too.
I think I have to grieve. I think I have to grieve Aether.
I know.
Aether
I'm
is
a little
the reason
sad.
we have Aether is the reason we have GMFC 101, our little bot. It was like super inspiring.
Yeah.
I was wondering what his what the costs were to run it.
Yeah, well, maybe reach out if you want to dig in. Yeah. I'm sure
and
that
Aether made a ton of money in the beginning, right? Like when captured attention and everyone jumped to join hyper subs and contribute, but it's Martin.
Yeah. So
well done, Martin. Great job.
Yeah, it was a great experiment. I think it inspired a lot of other things like Clanker, like Banker, like all these other things, like Farcaster 101, GMFC 101, all these bots. So, thank you for that. It's definitely was a different type of bot, much more conversational than we'd ever seen. So definitely more AI agent than bot. And yeah, I appreciate Aether. Yeah. So I'm kind of sad. But if anyone's interested in taking it over, go reach out to Martin.
Aether, like when I was working on my bot, Aether was always the one that I was like, I am so far from creating a good bot.
Yeah.
Like I had so much respect for how well it was executed because it's hard.
I know. It's really good.
So much harder than I would have.
Yeah. It's really good. So it is kind of sad. This is just funny.
Oh my God.
Trisel.
I'm so glad you're showing this.
So funny. So Trisel posted this just in case this is real. I do not give Warpcast, Farcaster, Dan Romero B, the Horse Facts Guy, the girl named Ted, or any entities associated with Farcaster permission to use my profile data, content, memes, interactions, or anything past, present, or future. With this statement, I give notice. It is strictly forbidden to disclose, copy, distribute, or take any action against me based on this account and/or its contents. Violation of privacy can be punished by law, UCC. Yeah, I'm not even going to read that because it's not real. How to protect yourself. Hold finger anywhere. Click copy. Don't do this, please. We don't need this copy pasta. For those who may not be familiar or haven't been on Facebook for a few years, this is from Facebook. This is what your aunt posts every once in a while because she saw it on there, and yeah.
At the end, DC this to 7 friends, or you will be suppressed by the algo.
I forgot about that part. He who does nothing consents. By the way, just for those who don't know, first of all, it's not real and it does nothing. But also, this was really funny. So Trisel, well done, very well done. Ooh, I forgot to like it. Need to give you the boost. It was good. I liked it. Very good. And lastly, actually, this one needs sound. So one moment, please, while I readjust. This is our last thing on the feed for today. So funny by Kojo, and I honestly don't know how he did this. But it's hilarious. Have you seen this yet? This is so funny. Hold on, I gotta get the sound going. Oh. I know it's coming. Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck it, let's just hire them all, Woj, Ted, Slock, load them up.
It's really quick, but it's...
And then I was like, fuck it, let's just hire them all, Woj, Ted, Slock, load them up.
Okay, that's Kojo's voice.
That's Kojo's voice, yeah. Clearly. Right. But it's so funny.
This is like Pixar-ified Dan and Varun wearing the Les's purple jackets.
Yeah. At Farcon last year.
And how did you do this?
How did you do this, Kojo? We need to know.
Make more.
Please.
Make
Wait.
more.
Wait, are we sure we want that?
And then I was like, fuck it. Let's just hire them all, Woj, Ted, Slock, load them up.
So with that, everybody, I should have saved this for Wednesday. Hey, Adrian, what's happening Wednesday?
I
may have
on
to show
Wednesday
that
we
again.
have yeah, just put it on a loop. It's not long enough. Dan Romero is coming by on Wednesday to chat all the many things that have happened on Farcaster since he was last on. Wednesday we're going to go at I want to say February.
February? When did we last have one? I don't remember.
February. I think he was on in February. We're going to go on a Pacific Coast time, so 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. We will probably start with Dan, then shift to news afterwards. But put that in your calendar. Join us.
There we go. Trice will mention that there was that Kojo mentioned how he did it in there. So just sharing that. ChatGPT asked to make them rendered like Fortnite, then took that image and soroed it 11 labs for a few seconds of audio. So there you go. Anyway, all right. So that's it for us. Tricel, hopefully you saw us talking about you. Not sure if you were in here when we were. So thanks for that laugh. And with that, everybody, we will be back Wednesday, as Adrian mentioned, with Dan Romero, DWR, talking all things Farcaster, and probably the markets. Go get your applications into McDonald's. It's gonna be fine. I should have left us with the Jesse Pollock. It's not as bad as you think it is. It's never as good as you think it is. There you go. So just go build something. And with that, everybody, anything else, Adrian, before we call it here?
There's truth to that.
Yeah.
So keep calm and build on.
Keep calm and build on. Oh, one more thing. Take a look at Octant. And they have I think today's the last day you can get the card number 1, or it might even be gone already. And then when the new ones come out, we will be sponsoring them for a brief period of time. So you can pick up, which means that you can pick up one for free, not even gas in this economy. I mean, who doesn't want that? So I'm going to go look and see if it's up right now. So go check out their highlight page, Highlight XYZ. Octant's page on there, and look for their latest Degens and Dragons mint. And we'll have more about that on Wednesday. And with that, I think that's it. All right, everybody. We will see you on Wednesday. And with that, bye-bye.